What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I'm your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having yourselves a fantastic Friday. Oh, that's right, the weekend is here, and because of the game being on Monday, all shows are pushed back a day, so therefore, you're getting your top matchups here tonight. Tomorrow, you'll get the game status report. You'll know who's out, who's questionable, all that great stuff, but I got an injury report for you. I've got all the information you need to make your own decision as to who the top matchups are. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Got any questions, comments, leave them down below. Now, there was some information that came out yesterday. In case you missed it, I want to touch on it. Jalen Carter will be out for Monday's game. Had a procedure done on his shoulders, not surgery. Sounds like he maybe had some kind of shots in there. Could miss a week, two, could miss the regular season just to keep it safe and have him ready for the playoffs. But unfortunate news, but next man up. Now, let's jump into this bad boy, and we'll start it off with the injuries for both teams, the update from today's practice. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on whether it's the injuries, the top matchups, whatever's going on in your mind. You got an MVP for the game, you got a score prediction, whatever it is, let's effing go. But I appreciate you all hitting the like button, sharing, subscribing, all those things you do to support the channel really help. So thank you. But let's get into it. Let's start it off with the injury reports from today. The Eagles getting themselves some positive information, I guess, that Landon Dickerson did not practice today because of rest. So the last few hours, people are freaking out. He did not practice today. Turns out was not injury related, just giving him some rest. Now, the only person that changed here is Xavier Gibson, now a full participant. Carter and Johnson not practicing. Vaughn, Dotson, and Phillips all limited there. Hinton and Epps trying to come off of the IR there, both full participants. Now, for the Chargers, they had a bunch of changes. Some good news here. Omari and Hampton, a full participant looking to get their star rookie running back back. Haskins, Johnson, Pipkins, Slayer. So both their tackles, some running backs. They get a bunch of guys, full participants. And then Dupree and Hand, also full participants who did not practice yesterday. Fisk is the only person who's still not practicing. And Justin Herbert is the only one limited. But it does sound like Justin Herbert is going to be good to go for this game on Monday after having surgery on his left hand there. So that'll be great for them. Hopefully he's good to go. Obviously going to be a little sore, but luckily his left hand and not his right. But let's take a look at what both of these teams will look like. I'm going to go through this quickly. You can always go check out other shows like Behind Enemy Lines and get everything to know about the Chargers. More precise breakdown. But I want to get into the top matchups. I give you this stuff just for a little primer. You see what's going on. Here is the Eagles IR. Again, Epps and Hinton trying to come off for this game. They will have to come off before the game on Monday. They want to play. And then here is the offense. Again, none of those names will be here. But you can see Lane Johnson probably not going to play, but we don't know. So probably Fred Johnson. We'll just assume. Everyone else hopeful to be good to go here. It's on the defensive side of the ball where we know Jalen Carter is out for this game. So going to need a Jomo, Byron Young to step up. But I want to see a little Ty Robinson, baby, and maybe a little Gabe Hall if he's elevated. So we do have Jaquan Graham there as well. We'll see what the Eagles decide to do. But other than that, guys are looking healthy, ready to rock and roll. We'll see if Epps can come off and help us out at the safety position. But I'll keep you up to date with that news. Special teams department. Looks like we could get Gibson back. Covey is on the regular season roster. I don't know. Maybe Gibson gets cut here when he is. I don't know. If somebody wants to come off like Epps or Hinton, maybe he's the odd man out if Covey is the returner now. We'll see how that plays out here. But here is the practice squad. They want to elevate two of these guys for Monday's game. I will let you know when they do that on Monday. But here is the full list of 16 players the Eagles have. Remember, their international player is on practice squad IR, so back to 16 instead of 17 because of that exemption there. So there are all your guys, maybe Hall or Graham, as I mentioned. We'll see who else they want to elevate for this game. Now, the Chargers, here is their IR, so obviously not going to see any of these guys on the upcoming IR, but Omari and Hampton and Otito Ogbanya there are designated to return. We'll see if either of those guys come off for this game on Monday, but you see the rest of the list. Some important tackles, some guys that are missing. So keep in mind, this is where they are. Now, here is the offense. And we talked about it. Tucker Fisk was the only one that missed practice today. And then Herbert was limited. So looking to be healthy here. as healthy as they can be with the players on their active roster, shall I say. But that's what their team looks like on offense. On the defensive side of the ball, you can see these guys here. We mentioned, seems that everybody's going to be playing. I will keep you up to date with that stuff. But pretty good team here. Not going to lie to you. A lot of talent on the offensive and defensive side of the ball, but also special teams department. They got Dicker the kicker and Darius Davis there as the return specialist. So a lot of talent in the special teams department. And here is their practice squad. Whoever they want to elevate, I will let you know that information. But a lot of new pieces they've added this year on the practice squad. A lot of veteran guys, rookies. So we will see who they decide to elevate. Now let's take a look at how both of these teams have been doing so far this year, their strengths, weaknesses, and all that great stuff. Then we'll get into those top matchups. But let me know how you're feeling so far. You see the Eagles here. A lot of talk about firing Sirianni, Patullo, Fangio. Hell, Clay might be next. Everybody's fired. Everybody's getting traded. For me, I don't think you're firing or doing anything like that in Week 14. I think the Eagles still want to win the Super Bowl, even if the fans and media don't. I think this team is locked in. They know what they need to fix. Let's see that happen this week. And, yeah, I know if you're a stat watcher, you're losing your mind. You don't like wins. You want stats. Well, the Eagles aren't going to give you that. And that's something, on the offensive side of the ball, definitely struggled running, passing at different times in different games. You see the greatness, and then all of a sudden just fades away. And you guys know the media finally caught on to having a bad offensive line is not a good thing. So really excited to see the media starting to finally watch the show, learn a little bit about what the issues are. Instead of firing Nick Sirianni and Howie Roseman and trading Jalen Hurts, let's try to fix the problems and win some games. In my opinion, that would be the way to go. But if you're watching stats, you're going to probably go with the Cowboys fans. And the Cowboys fans now 6-6-1. I didn't get to change that here, put this together yesterday. My apologies, but they did lose. And the Eagles still sitting atop. So their Super Bowl last week when they beat the Eagles, fading away into oblivion. Unfortunate. And, now at 6-6-1, that will move them. And again, I put this together. Yesterday was going to make it, wasn't able to. Didn't have time, so I do apologize that the 6-6-1 will actually, probably keep them around the same area, but who cares? So the Eagles at number 3, we need to focus on ourselves moving forward, getting to that number 1 seed, and 2 teams we can beat in front of us. The Rams, we've already shown that. The Bears, I don't even know what that game was. Would love to see them again. Now, moving on to the Chargers. We talked about this, in Behind Enemy Lines. We talked about Harbaugh and Greg Roman, this tough running team, and, they're going to hit us with some deep shots at time, and they're going to hit their little slants, and they're going to try to get their receivers going. We don't care. Get this defense going. And then their defense, we talk about the similarities between Minter and Vic Fangio, a little more aggressive with the blitzing, but you remember when we talked about the candidates for Eagles DC, we had talked about Jesse Minter from Michigan. So I like the kid, and I think he's a really bright mind, a really, really bright mind. So I think this team really going to bring it on Monday. And they've been bringing it this whole year. The offensive side of the ball, you can see maybe not doing exactly what they want, but missing Najee Harris, missing Amari Hampton has definitely been a hindrance on them. Not being able to protect Justin Herbert, getting sacked left and right, not great. And he's turning the ball over. So offense definitely could use some work. Defense, 11th in points, 3rd in total yardage. You see they're 2nd against the pass there. Tied for 6th in sacks, almost 3 per game. Not getting too many turnovers here, but this defense is for real, and that's what's been keeping them going here. Also 8-4, but if you look at the Eagles 8-4, that's obviously season's over. Chargers 8-4, greatest team ever assembled. Weird how that works, but the Chargers, unfortunately, not ahead of their division, so therefore in a wild card spot right now, looking to climb, make themselves into that 1st seed in their division, but they got the Broncos in front of them. So sitting there at 5 are the Chargers. So now you see what both teams look like. You can decide for yourself where the top matchups are, and you can let me know how you feel, whether you agree with some of these, disagree, whatever it is. But remember, try not to get too caught up with the numbers. I like to do this where we go from the offense to the defense. So I just start with one, then I go to the other. So don't get too worked up. But we're going to start with the Eagles defense here. Time to step it on up. At number 10, it begins in the trenches, so that's where we're beginning. They've got a banged-up line here with Salyer and Pipkins. You saw them both on the injury report. They're not even their starting tackles at the beginning of the year. So banged up, yes. Don't care. We're banged up as well. We don't have Jane Carter. Unfortunate. Told you. Need to see a little more vanilla gorilla. Need to see this edge room getting some pressure here. Let's do that in this game. Yes, they are pretty good at protecting, their quarterback when they're healthy, but they're not. They're banged up. They've been giving up sacks. Get after Justin Herbert. Stop this run game. Do whatever you got to do to demolish this offensive line and make things harder for Justin Herbert. And he's going to be trying to get it to his weapons, and he's got a plenty of them. And Oronde Gadsden, and we talked about Tucker Fisk being DNP today, so I don't know. But Gadsden, this rookie is the truth, looking like Antonio Gates out there. But the Eagles might get Marcus Epps here, and that would be great if we got him off of IR because Brown definitely has his struggles and would be nice to have a more veteran tight end here. Linebackers, safeties have done well against tight ends so far this year, but they've had their moments, and we don't want an athletic young kid like this to light us up. So let's do our best to shut down Oronde Gadsden, who, again, I think this kid, he's got a really bright future. He's got 14.1 yards per catch, 2 touchdowns so far this season, over 500 yards. Kid's pretty talented, so let's shut him down. Sidney Brown, for the love of God, if you're out there starting, do something. Please, God, get it together, hone it in. We know you got the talent, but you're all over the place, man. Please, for the love of God. Now, at number 8, let's stick with the receiving game, and we'll talk about these really talented receivers here. You've got Ladd McConkey, Keenan Allen, Quentin Johnston, and McConkey's averaging 11.8 yards per catch with 5 touchdowns. Keenan Allen's got 10.4 yards per catch with 4 touchdowns. Quentin Johnston, 13.1 with 7 touchdowns. Holy hell. All of them over 500 yards, 600 for Allen and McConkey. Look, they can hit you all over the place. Got rookie Trey Harris, so they're trying to get acclimated a little more, but they're just so talented, don't have room for them just yet. But the Eagles, on the other hand, Adoree Jackson has continued to improve. I was hoping to see more Michael Carter II, but they ran all over us. They weren't really passing, didn't really need a dime corner. He only saw 1 snap last week. The week before, I think he had like 25. So Michael Carter II, this is the kind of game where I could see a little bit more of those passing packages where you get yourself a little Michael Carter II. But Cooper to Gene going up against Ladd McConkey and Mitchell and Allen and whoever they line these guys up, this is going to be really, really fun to watch. And I think this Eagles team, obviously one of the best cornerback duos. Jackson has been questionable at times, definitely improved, but this is going to be one of their toughest tests. So really looking forward to this one after the way we got manhandled by the Cowboys. Again, the Bears ran all over us, but I would really like to shut down some really good receivers here. This would be the game to do it. But one thing we really need to shut down is that effing run game. And if they get Amari and Hampton back, son of a, I don't know that he'll be at full strength if they'll use him fully, but Kamani Vidal is there. We didn't use Jihad Campbell, but I've got him listed anyway. But this heavyweight matchup is going to be a fun one. Now, before Amari and Hampton got hurt, he was averaging 4.8 yards per carry. He had himself a couple of touchdowns, 314 yards in 5 games. So, I mean, he was showing flashes already. If you watched him, you know he could catch the ball as well at 6.8 yards per catch there, 136 yards. So, yeah, after the way Monangai and Swift just ran all over you, if you're not pissed off, if you're not at practice, body slamming each other, getting ready here to be physical, I don't know what to tell you, man. So be physical. They are a physical offense. They're going to try to run the ball right down our throats, especially after what they just saw. So bring your A game, not just Bonding and Campbell, the whole damn defense. But for matchup purposes, let's effing go. Now, the number 1 here for the Eagles defense, at number 6 here, I've got the Eagles D going up against Justin Herbert. And Justin Herbert it's funny. He's so underrated but overrated at the same time. It's like hit or miss with him. Now, I've always liked the kid because his rookie year, he actually helped me win the fantasy championship. So I thought, oh, man, and it was funny to watch people crap on him and talk about Tua, and then this kid just continuously proved them wrong. But then it's like this point where he's the greatest quarterback that ever lived, but the kid hasn't done anything. So it always confuses me, the narratives around him. I don't hate him. I just think, it's funny to watch people that either love him or hate him, really. I'm indifferent. I could care less. I think he's a good quarterback. I will tell you that. He's got 2,842 yards on the season. He's probably going to go over 3,000 here in this game. That's pretty good, averaging 236.8 yards per game. He's got 21 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. But as I mentioned, he has been sacked 38 times. So gonna need to work on that one for sure. But this Eagles D, man, if you're not pissed off, you're not hungry. Yeah, I know Jalen Carter's out. Don't care. Next man up. I don't care about any injuries. Oh, Drew McCoubas. Yep, don't care. Next man up. Figure it out. Do what you got to do. Put these boys in the dirt. Take away that run game. Put it in his hands, and I promise you, get him rattled. He'll make his mistakes. We can handle this offense. Now, offense. Let's talk about the Eagles' offense. This is the biggest struggle of the year, obviously, is getting this damn thing going. And I think you could really help things get going by getting the ball to Dallas Goedert, using Cameron Latimore as that tight end 2 rather than just fullback, and using less of Grant Calcaterra, who can't block to save his life. And I know a lot of you were mad at me at the beginning of the season when I said that, but I think you see what I mean now. Oh, my God, he is one of the worst. Really happy to see people agreeing with me there because it's bad. I don't know how many years I can say it now, but we need another tight end there. I think Latu is that guy that can block, but they don't listen to me, so I don't know. But get Dallas Goedert involved, most importantly. Get him some catches across the middle, outside, whatever you got to do. Get him the ball. Only 400 yards on the season, but 10.1 yards per catch. He's got 7 touchdowns. He is that red zone threat. Use him, baby. He's got himself a tough matchup with these linebackers, safeties, the corners. They got a tough defense. Derwin James, Molden, Tony Jefferson's old ass is there. Man, they're going to bring it, and I want them to. Come and get some. Derwin James, one of the most fun defensive players to watch. Old man now at this point, I feel like I can't believe, how long he's actually been playing, but he is awesome to watch. It's going to be a really fun matchup. And another really fun matchup is going to be in this passing game when we get A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Jahan Dotson, and we're even seeing a little bit more of Cooper now. So if we could get Cooper, I like Darius Cooper. I think that this kid shows promise, and he's seen over 25% of the snaps. That's how I do this. I won't put your name there unless you do. You get it. But he's been stepping up. We need somebody too. Let's go. But you've got yourself, I think, a slept-on secondary here. And Tarheeb Still, Dante Jackson, Cam Hart, Benjamin St. Juste. Remember him from the Commanders. But look, this is a very overlooked, underrated secondary. And I think they're definitely going to bring their A game, but I don't care. I think that this Eagles team really, really, really knows what they have. It's honestly, in my opinion, just about digging deep, finding it, going out and doing it. It's really not super complicated. I don't think we need to fire and trade everyone, burn this team to the ground. I want to build a dynasty and win a lot of games. I know a lot of people don't feel that way. Whatever they feel about this team, want to trade everybody. That's great. I don't care. I think get this receiving game going, open up the run game, get things going. I'd be all about it. But going to be a tough matchup in this one. And I think, as I mentioned, you make that passing game much easier when you run the damn ball and you do it well and you do it with conviction. So don't get scared here, ladies and gentlemen. I know, sometimes the run is not successful and they shy away from it. Please don't do that. Only got 740 yards on the season, 3.7 yards per carry. Only 4 touchdowns. Not great. Not great at all. I'm not going to lie to you. But I don't care. I know we still got the talent. I know this offensive line can figure some damn things out. And hopefully that's what Stout, Patullo, Sirianni, all these guys are trying to figure out. Run the damn ball right down their throats. And, well, you can do that if you start blocking. And I know nobody wanted to hear it all season when I talked about Cam Jurgens' injury, Landon Dickerson's injury, and then Lane Johnson's injury. And now all of a sudden everybody woke up and they realized not having a good offensive line is a hindrance. So weird. But I tried to explain to them this is what you want, a good offensive line. And we haven't been. Now, a lot of people saying Steen, this. No, man. It's a culmination of the whole thing. Even Mailata's had his downs. So figure it out. Get things together. If you can get this run game going, passing it, dude, nobody can stop us. Nobody. But they've got themselves quite a force here. Tuipulotu, Mack, Odafe Owe, Bud Dupree there. Then you see the interior guys, Han, Caldwell, Tart, and Ibogi there. We're going to have to do all we possibly can to shut this team down. And I really think, if we can get things going on the offense, the sky's the limit, man. Obviously, the defense is down the last couple of weeks, but we know what they're capable of. But the great thing is, we know what this offense is capable of. especially with number one, QB1, Jalen Hurts at the helm. I don't care about what the haters say. He can't do this, can't do that. Every week it's moving the goalposts. I honestly don't care. Do whatever you need to do to talk yourself through it because it's coming again. Just like we talked about last year. You want to sleep on this Eagles team? Please do, and I thank you. But him, QB1, 2,500 passing yards on the season, 7.4 yards per pass. So it's not great, but 19 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions. Are you kidding me? Still sitting here listening to people talk about Jalen Hurts can't do this, can't do that. What they can't do is talk football. They're clueless, and I don't care what they have to say. Jalen Hurts is the truth. They will just have to grin and bear it because it's coming your way, baby. You're going to find out on Monday night. But that's all I've got for you, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know your favorite top matchup. Maybe you agree, disagree with something. Maybe you've got an MVP for the game. You got a score prediction. Whatever is on your mind, I would love to hear from you. Appreciate you all taking the time, hitting that like button, sharing, subscribing, all that you're doing to support the channel. Cannot thank you enough. Tomorrow, I will have the game status report out, who's questionable. Then I'm going to have a live video on Sunday. Then, of course, the pregame and postgame show on Monday. Hope to see you then. But if you need anything before then, you know you can always reach out. Does not have to be about the birds. Always here for you guys as you are for me. But all I've got for you. So until next time, I am Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. You all stay safe out there, and as always, go Birds!